Okay, we're going to turn now to this week's big meetings between Democrats and Republicans over health care. President Obama has released his own plan to bridge the differences between the stalled bills that have already passed both the House and the Senate. But top Republicans have already blasted that approach. Their House leader, John Boehner, saying, quote, the president has crippled the credibility of this week's summit. So will the GOP offer a plan of their own? That question for the number 2 Republican in the House, Eric Cantor. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning, George.
Well, the White House was up early this morning. Dan Pfeiffer, communications director, had a blog at 5 a.m. asking, will the Republicans post their health plan and when? He goes on to offer, we'll be happy to post the Republican plan on our website once they indicate to us which one we should post. We hope they won't pass up this opportunity to make their case to the American people. So will you take them up on that?
George, House Republicans have had a plan posted since the vote in the House in July. Listen, the American people right now are the losers in all of this because, George, the signals coming out of the White House don't bode well for positive health care reform. The president posted yesterday basically the Senate health bill repackaged. It's a bill that's going to cost $1 trillion to the people watching your show this morning, and frankly, a bill that doesn't bring down health care costs for anyone in this country. Help
me out, though, because you say that the Republicans have posted a bill. You've posted piecemeal bills, but no comprehensive bill.
George, that's just not true. In the Republicans in the House, we have a better way. We had a vote on our plan, and it's a plan that is focused very squarely on bringing down costs and health care costs for the American people. That's what's the stark difference here, in that the president insists on bringing back a bill that the American people have resoundingly rejected. Our House bill is validated by the Congressional Budget Office and will bring down health care insurance premiums. That's what the American people want right now, George, while we're in economic times of unprecedented unemployment.
So you'll bring that bill to the summit on Thursday. What do you expect to come out of this?
Well, listen, the American people do not like the Senate health care bill. Yesterday, the president's health care official, Nancy Parle, said that this bill is the Senate bill with some strategic changes. If we look at some of the details that are coming out, this bill is a non-starter. I'm hoping that the president will answer the question, why does he want to continue to push a bill that the American people have rejected? And will he join us in a bipartisan way to try and accomplish the things that most Americans can support, which is focusing on bringing down health care costs.
So from your perspective, as long as the bill the president outlined yesterday is on the table, there is no grounds for any kind of bipartisan deal?
There can't be, George. The American people have already said overwhelmingly they reject this bill. They reject government coming in and replacing the system that we know. They reject the notion that somehow in these economic times that we've got to spend $1 trillion when no one can afford it, small businesses nor working families. They reject the notion that we ought to impose higher taxes on small businesses, right now especially. They reject the notion that there should be Medicare cuts, which is all a part of this bill.
How about on jobs? You saw the Senate yesterday have a bipartisan vote on a $15 billion jobs bill. Can House Republicans support that?
I'm not sure that the Democrats in the House will support this, George. Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker, has not indicated that she'd bring this bill up. And there's a lot of things that we can do to help this economy, to help small businesses get back on their feet. The kind of policies that are the central part of this Senate bill don't make a lot of sense to the small business people that I've spoken to.
So that's a no?
Well, again, we've got to see what Nancy Pelosi is going to bring up in the House, but I can tell you, George, by targeting the tax credits the way that the Senate bill does, you're not going to help small businesses right now that are having trouble keeping the lights on.
Okay, Congressman, thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thanks, George.